All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's call. We got driver the number 60, RFK Racing Ford Mustang Dark Horse. It's Ryan Preece joining us, coming off a 9th place finish this past weekend in the Coca-Cola 600 as we head to Nashville this weekend, where Ryan's got a couple of Craftsman Truck Series victories to his credit. We're going to kick it off with questions right away. Ryan, thanks for joining us. We're going to start with John Newby. Go ahead, John.
Thank you. So, Ron, I got a couple questions for you. First off, your first two starts at Nashville, trucks and Xfinity, win and a 6th place finish. And I was curious, how did you take to that track so well, so quickly?
Um, that's a great question. And to be honest with you, I think it just somewhat fits the style that I have, the style that I've grew up racing. It seems to be a little bit more forgiving when it comes to some of the things that I tend to do. And yeah, it's just, I really like it. I enjoy racing there. And a lot of it's about being disciplined, with the line there. So, yeah, I don't necessarily know other than when I've gone back and looked and really continue to go back and look. I just like it. Sorry. Hold on, we got teammate Chris here, so he must be you're good. Throw it in the back. His wife's probably putting some animal in a no. Animal. Oops. Sorry. Copy. I'll talk to you over a little bit. See ya.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my second question, this morning Elton Sawyer said that they're having daily conversations about increasing horsepower in the Cup cars. And you know a lot about short track racing, massive horsepower, all that stuff. Is that going to be the fix that fans want, or is there still going to be more that we need to do to keep making short track racing better?
Well, I think a lot of it's the power to weight ratio. A lot of short track cars, outside of if you're racing, a USAC sprint car or midget, super late models or open four type modifieds, they're 2,600 pounds, 2,700 pounds, and they make about 650, 700 horsepower. So the horsepower number is about the same. The difference is a Cup car is 3,500 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So in all reality, if you're, I don't know the exact number, but essentially that'd be like racing a Pro Late model or an SK modified where they're about 500 horsepower. If you're looking at power to weight, it's to me as a race car driver, it just gives you another tool. It would certainly benefit my style of if we added horsepower, because there's things I do with the brake pedal or throttle or brake bias that you a tool on how to help your car exit the corner when you're setting up a pass, being able to clear, having that extra horsepower. But, at the end of the day, if the rules are the same for everybody, you just got to figure out how to do it better than everybody else, right? But to answer your question on fans and what they want or whatnot, when I look, I'm just going to use a 600 as an example. I went back and watched it, and that race, was a great race to watch. When I look at North Wilkesboro and how that race was, that was a good race to watch. And that usually comes from varying strategies. I think it comes from, a whole bunch of different things. So if we continue to make adjustments, I think we're definitely going to keep fans entertained. But I'm obviously somebody that's always, I'm going to always be of the give me more horsepower, and not just a little bit. It's not, a 30 or 70 horsepower increase. It's like guys way back in the day were racing 900 horsepower, right? And now we're in 2025. So I'm not speaking for the engine builders. I'm speaking selfishly as a race car driver who, wants the challenge.
See, I knew you're the right person to ask. Thank you.
All right, thank you, John. Let's go over to Roy. Hello, Roy. Go ahead. Unmute yourself, Roy. Roy, you're muted.
We're good now. Thank
There
you,
you go.
Ryan. With Charlotte being so temperature sensitive, how did you feel like your machine rode, and how will that translate to land in about a month?
That's a great question. Yeah, I thought Charlotte definitely went through the swing that we all talk about throughout the race. My car benefited from it pretty early on, but I got behind and then just kind of became a top 10 car where I felt like we ever got that track position in the first 50 to 100. We had a really solid race car. So, but Atlanta, I think that's going to be a place where that track's aging. I think even though it's a super speedway style race, handling's becoming more and more of a thing. But at the same time, I think, with it being at nighttime, it's certainly track temp goes down and things that happen when you have a night race. It certainly could band-aid some of those issues. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. I just hope that we just continue to unload and do the things that we've been doing as a 60 team in RFK, and we're gonna be real contenders here.
Very quick follow up with Brad's top finish on at the Charlotte 600. That must have really been a great moment from RFK. I bet you the smile was pretty big.
Yeah, I mean he does a really good job, and that's plenty of experience too. But he's really good at keeping up with racetracks, giving input to keep making the car better. So that's something where all of us we push each other to be pushing in certain areas, and that's one that I wish I did a better job at this weekend with communicating when I was starting to get loose. And that Brad did a great job at it. And obviously I'm happy to see the 6 team and Brad get a good finish that they deserve, because they've been working. They had a great run going at Kansas and blew a tire, and it ended their day. So I've been on the other side where things don't go your way, and it's really tough to dig out of that hole. But Brad's he's a team player, and really somebody that they just keep plugging away, and they'll round they did.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Roy. Let's head on over to Scotty Powell. Go ahead, Scotty, you're up.
Hey, Ryan, thanks for joining us. 2 questions for you. One question. I saw some comments post-race from you where you mentioned where you feel like you need to start qualifying a little bit better. Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, Scott, I wish I could tell you, but to be honest with you, the one thing that seems to be a normal occurrence is qualifying from 28th to 32nd. So, yeah, I mean, there's certainly been times where we qualify really well, and then there's other times like where we qualify really bad, and there doesn't seem to be much of an in between, and that's just something we're going to continue to keep on working on.
Second question for you. I know every race is important. They pay all the same amount of points. But Michigan seems like it's a little bit more elevated just because of the manufacturing. Talk to us about how important Michigan is and how important it is to have a good run up there.
Yeah, I mean, when it's your OEM's backyard, you kind of want to be the guy that carries the flag and wins for them. With Jack and everybody with Roush being from Michigan, and with Ford and being the guy, like Chris has been super, super fast at Michigan and been able to win, right? So I think when we go to Michigan, as a company in RFK, we want to be the ones to win it for Ford and carry the banner, carry the flag. So obviously having a teammate like him and Brad, we have a really solid baseline. And with Chris doing the tests a month or so ago or whatever it was, I feel really confident going in there that we have 3 really good chances to do that.
Thank you, Ryan. Have a good week.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Scotty. Let's go over to Leonardo Polanco. Hello, Leonardo. Go ahead.
Thanks. Ryan, take us through the Mexico City race. How are your expectations on the week? How do you think the cars will fit to the altitude? And how does the week will unfold to the team also?
Well, I can tell you, we just got done with our meeting for Mexico. So I've been reading up a little bit of stuff. And yeah, so I think there's a lot of things that we're all thinking about. But as a race car driver, one of them is going to be staying hydrated, how the elevation is going to affect us as far as being in the race car and breathing enough. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I am excited to go there because after talking with Daniel and obviously he grew up over there and he had a lot of great things to say. So I'm looking at it as a half glass full, and certainly I've never been out of the country. So this is going to be my first experience and really hoping it's a great one.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, I'll go around. Anybody got any follow-ups or anybody got a last question for Ryan here? Going once. Going twice. We'll let him get animals in his back of his vehicle with Chris Buescher.
Yeah.
Gone, Ryan. Thanks for joining us here this morning, and best of luck this weekend. Thanks. All right, everyone. Ryan's bandwidth has left him, so appreciate you joining today, and we'll have another call next week. Everyone travel safe to Nashville, and we'll talk soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Dan.
Bye-bye.